Okay, we're going to start in just about a minute. And thank you for tuning in. For those of you who came in early, mahalo for joining me on this Thursday evening. Okay, and welcome. Let's give my friends a chance to take a look at this, okay, and join us. Okay, here we go. Anyway, it's Thursday, and I'd like to share with you the method that I use to make predictions in the sporting events that I do, that I follow. And the main sporting events that I follow are the games played in the NFL, the NBA, and the WNBA. These are all professional leagues. And if you follow each one to the end of the season, it will offer you an entire year of opportunities to practice your craft in predicting. Just yesterday, I did a prediction that I'm going to be pulling up right here. And this prediction actually was correct, okay? And here's a prediction for you, right, that I made. And the prediction was on a game played earlier today between the Browns and the Eagles. And I'm looking at the over-under. And the over-under is the point total. At the end of the game, the total points are put together and added together. And so whoever was putting this together decided that the point total was 35.5. There's that half point in there, okay? And so when I worked my game, I chose two photos, and here are the photos that are here. When I first chose them, they were in envelopes, very similar to here in my packet, but they were sealed away in envelopes, and so I didn't see them when I pulled them. And as I pulled when I pulled the envelopes, I cued one. The first one was men sitting in camping tents. And I said, if the final combined score was over 35.5 points, describe this particular photo. The second photo that I pulled was this photo right here, a little boy in a bubble in the ocean, okay? And I told myself to describe this photo, which was sealed away, just in case the score remains under 35.5 points, okay? And if you take a look at the color codes, I try and color code everything. There's a triangle here at TP, and take a look at my initial sketch up here. 3 TPs, right? Or 3 triangles right here. So there's a strong indication that somewhere in my target photo, there was a triangle, okay? And so this is why this particular photo ranked a 7 out of 10. Okay, and then looking at my descriptors, all of the blue marks here are what I think describe the teepee, and a group of men can see triangles outside, close, something that was close and clustered. And if you take a look at the men sitting here around the fire, they were clustered or grouped together. Okay, and it's man-made in the color blue, brown, and tall. So there are 17 different things. When I added up the total points for this first photo, I had 17. And when I added up the points for the second photo, it only came out to 9. So my since this picture represented the over, I went with the over prediction, and that's my pick. Well, the game was played today, and the final score was 18-18. You add that up, it's 36 points. So we went over by half a point. That's a win. Okay. So that was a really good display. Now, for those of you wondering, where do I get, where do I get my information, or is there a book available on that explains how I do this? There is a book that I wrote, and it's called Picking Winners. And here's the book that you could find on Amazon. Okay, and this is a workbook, and a nice big workbook. If you order this, it costs $19.95, and it's worth your money if you get it, because you can use the workbook and fill in the pages as you go. And for this book, I cover sports betting, and I also or sports prediction, but I also go into lottery, the smaller lotteries. So if you're interested in that, you can take a look at that there. So the name of the book is Picking Winners, and David J. Wallace. Okay, and that's available there. Okay. Now for today, for today's work, let's prepare our prepare our paper. Okay, if you do have a paper and you want to follow along, there are several things that you're gonna need. If you're doing this by yourself, you're gonna need 3 objects. The first one is a notepad. Okay, and this is a steno pad, and I like doing this, my work in this, because it contains all of my work here. Okay, and so it's easy. Okay, and so that's the first thing you need to know. Need to have steno pad. The second thing that you need is to get an envelope, and then go through. You can go through magazines, or you can download pictures from the internet. And these pictures would have to be unique, okay, unique to them, unique in ways that are different from the other photos. Don't try and get all those, photos of landscapes, because you're going to get mountains and trees in each one of them, and it can be confusing. So, take a look at the pictures that you do have, and try and get as many different variations and different things. It's okay to get buildings, animals, trees, nature, stream, anything that can stimulate your imagination. That will be really good. I have a vast collection of these envelopes that's filled with random pictures. But when it's time for me to work a game, I get 10 of these. Okay, I just grab 10 of these and put them in the envelope, and I'm ready to do my game. So the second thing is getting your random envelopes together, your target pictures. Okay, and then the last thing that you need is your pen. Okay, and Al just found a way to get my favorite pen, the Uniball pens, and I really like them because the pen, when you start writing, the ink flows really well. I like the medium ink because it gives really nice outline, and the sketch provides the lines provide a really nice defined shape, so it's easy to see what you're drawing. Okay, and I'm gonna switch and take you to the the form that you're gonna need to work today's game, okay? And here's the form, okay? So the game that we're gonna be working is, again, the top section right up here, the 2 lines is what we call the administrative area. And this is on the left. This tells you what we're doing, and we're doing the NFL and 2023 season. And this is preseason game number 4 for me. So far, I had 3 games. All 3 games were correct in my predictions, so I'm 3-0. The game that I'm looking at is the Panthers against the Giants, and the over-under right now is 39 points. However, since the game is being played tomorrow, before the game starts, I'm going to look at the over-under, and this number may change overnight, okay? Depends who's going to be playing and who's not going to be playing. This can be adjusted either up or down. So the over-under will be adjusted before the game. If it stays 39, I'll just leave it, okay? And the date for tomorrow is the 18th of August, 2023. If you take a look at the spaces here, this is where I'll be working my sketch, okay? And I'll be creating my sketch. Some people call the sketches, ideograms. This is your first impression you get from the targets, and so can be ideograms. After I get my initial sketch, sometimes I probe the initial sketch, especially if it's really vague and I'm still kind of lost about what I'm looking at. I'll probe and put my the tip of my pen on the sketch to see if I can get more details. On the right side are my impressions, okay? And this is where I write color, size, if I sense anything about the target, man-made, natural, is it moving? Is it large? Is it something small? So all of my impressions, I start writing right in this column right here. This middle section, and notice there's 5 spaces. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should give you enough space to jot down your ideas. The next section, I call this my sensory area, and this is where I use my senses to see what I can pick up about the target itself. And the sensory data, sounds. What kind of sounds does this object make? Then the smell and the taste of the object. I imagine placing my tongue on the object and kind of like tasting it to see, what I can sense from there. And then the next thing is the temperature. Is it hot, cold, lukewarm, whatever? And then texture. If I rub my hands on the object, what do I feel? Is it something rough, smooth, wet, sticky, gunky, So all of these senses are placed there. And then the last section I normally filled out is my second sight. I go back to the target. Now that I have a preliminary idea of what the object is, descriptors that go with it, and my sensory, the last thing I want to do is ask myself, okay, what am I seeing? What am I looking at? And I can either write, my final assessment. What is this thing? What is this object? Or I can draw the final object there. Okay. And these two sections right here, the over and the under, this is where I describe the photos I'm going to be pulling two photos, and one of the photos is going to represent the over, and one of the photos is going to represent the under. And so when I pull the photos out and I look at it, as soon as I look at it, I write down for the over photo, I describe what it is. And then for the under photo, I describe what it is, and I put the pictures on the side. And then I start assessing, okay, um, you know, of these two photos, out of these two photos, which one matched my sketch the best, okay? And how many hits do I have for the descriptors and the sensory, the things that I sense using my senses, how many of them fit the over and how many of them fit the under. And after I'm doing that, I add up the points and say, okay, decision time. Which of these photos, the over or the under, best represent what I did? And normally I'll come down to 1 point. If things are too close, my pick, I'll just put down a pass. If I'm way off on both photos, off in left field, it's telling me, Dave, this isn't a good game to play. Don't play it. So my pick will be pass. Okay. So don't try and force everything under, over or under. It's okay to pass also. Okay. So this is what we're going to be working on. And again, if you're going to be copying and following along, you've had a chance to kind of like put this together. And now let's get to the real thing. All right. All right. So let's begin. Now, I've, there you go. Okay. I have my envelope of pictures right here. Okay. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be picking two photos. All right. All right, I picked two photos, and this is what I'm going to do. Describe the photo in this envelope. In this envelope, if the final combined score is over 39 points. Okay. And the second, describe the photo in this envelope if the final combined score remains under 39 points. So now I have two over and under. Okay. And I'm going to set this aside for a bit. And I'm going to be looking at my feedback section. And my feedback section is this part right down here. This is where I'll be drawing my feedback sketch representing the actual outcome. Okay, well, what is the actual picture that came? And let's see what I see. Okay. Okay. So it's pretty obvious what I saw. Okay. but some kind of animal, right? And so I'm going to write okay. This is what I got. There you go. Can you see it? Okay. Um, for my senses, animal group, white fur, warm, house, fuzzy, sound, quiet, panting, smell, fur, text, fuzzy, soft, airy, then warm, and sight group of animals. Okay, not just one, but there's a big one. Okay, and so moment of truth. This is the first envelope is for the over, and let's see what we get. Ta-da! Okay, so this is the first picture. Okay, and so I think I got this one pretty well. Okay, if you all right, so that's a really good hit. All right, second photo is okay. So if I was to take a look at this again, the over is I think this is labs, dogs. Okay. And this other picture is a stone birch. So if you had to choose between this photo and this photo, okay, which one would you choose? Well, yeah, and actually this one. Okay, so my prediction for this game tomorrow is for the Panthers and Giants game, the score should go over. Okay, so that's my prediction. All right, and let's see how this comes out. Okay, so it's been fun tonight, and this is something I'm going to be doing next week. So I'm going to be inviting. I'd like to invite you on Thursdays. Thursdays is a really good night because for me, I'm not working any lotteries right now. So on Thursdays is a good night for me to share these predictions. And as the regular season goes on, you know, we can adjust the schedule there. But hopefully you folks learned something. And I hope this prediction comes out true tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, this is Dave Wallace saying thank you for watching. And if you enjoy what I do, check out my books. Check out my book, Picking Winners. If you have any questions, contact me on Facebook, Kaho Dave. All right. And until next time. Mahalo for watching and aloha.